Hi, TikTok. Hi, Tiki Talk Talk. So, welcome to Hip Beads and Conversations TikTok. Hi, YouTube. Welcome to Hip Beads and Conversations YouTube. You know what? I'm just now so used to talking to you guys while I make the hip beads that I just decided that this is what I was going to do today. Okay, right after I finished doing my client readings, I decided to do that. As you know, I've changed um, around. I'm no longer doing readings every day like I was doing before. I'm only doing them twice a week because they're taking up too much of my. Yeah, thank you, Mama. They're taking. Hi, Miss Fowler. Yeah, they're taking up too much of my energy for my clients, Miss Fowler. I'm having you down for next week during the week for your readings. We'll do them both at the same time. We'll do a big we'll do a big thingy. So that's why I've stopped doing readings all the time on YouTube and TikTok because I realized one thing, guys. I'm not a content creator. I don't make money from YouTube and TikTok because my ancestors never wanted me to. And I'm not a content creator. I'm a Sangoma. That's fine. Okay, cool. I will send you a link and then we'll do it all at once. You know, my ancestors from day one, they told me I was never to make money off TikTok and YouTube, that I was to work with people and I was to use my hands. But if I do a lot of readings for YouTube or TikTok, I'm so tired, I can't cater to my clients, and my clients must come first. Okay, I don't know what is going on with my thingy here. It's giving me trouble because I think it's a little too big now. Um, so yeah, so I gotta be more for my clients, right? Than always on TikTok or whatever. Because guys, TikTok doesn't pay me except $3. Thank you, Miss Cookie. Hi, Gogo. I hope you're having a great day. Yes, I am. You left me a message. I think I just saw it flash on my phone. I've been so tired and I've just been trying. See, I have my little sticky thing to pull down the beads. Okay. I am going to be sending them out. I can hold on to yours, Mama, since you are moving. I can hold on to yours and then send it out when you have moved. So don't worry. I can hold on to your love kit and send it to you when oh shucks, look at that. Okay, when you move, just to let you know, I'm having so much trouble with the male beads. You guys have no idea. Male beads, I guess, require more strength than female beads, and they are just killing me. They're killing me. I'm not gonna lie. They are killing me. I've only done like three since the last time I did beads. It's just awful. Just problem after problem with the male beads. But I know it's because, well, I don't know. My ancestors told me that it's because. Thank you, Miss Fowler. I am resting more and I am restructuring myself. When you work for yourself, you have to restructure yourself a lot for, for your health and for all that. So I just realized that I was doing too much social media every day, the stress and the use of that muscle, and really, yeah, it should be for my clients. So I am now just yeah. So Mondays and Wednesdays we'll do readings. The rest of the days you're keeping me company. Yeah, thank you. While I'm making my product. Okay, so we're back to beads. And these are the beads I will be selling on the 15th. Even the male beads I'll be selling on the 15th of June on YouTube. That's why I'm now on YouTube. And this is your moment to ask me questions. I brought my glasses. This is your moment to ask me spiritual questions. So we can talk about the spiritual without me getting in the zone and doing all that. And you can ask me questions about the Bantu, You can ask me. I even brought my glasses. See, let me wear them. You can ask me questions about the Bantu. You can ask me questions about our culture. This is your time, or about me. You can ask me questions about me. Yeah, the cookie just gave me $1.99. I'm so pleased. This is your time to get to know me, and this is my time to be Gogo. Gogo is there to talk. You finally got the orange spell. I am so glad. I don't remember what the orange spell is. You're gonna have to let me know. Yay! Thank you, Cookie. Thank you so much, Mama. Thank you. She's on both my YouTube and my TikTok giving me gifts. I am so lucky. So, this is your time to spend with me when I'm just doing my stuff. So, I had a horrible dream today. I dreamt about my cousin Tao. He almost killed me when I brought him into my life. Okay, for cleansing the uterus, I think I need to do that again. Yeah, okay, I get it. Good. So I brought him into my life and he almost killed me. And my writing career died under his wing. And he's always in my dreams. My cousin, he's gay, but he refuses to accept that he's gay. But now he's coming into my dreams as a gay guy. And how do I know he's coming into my dreams as a gay guy? Because he comes without his private parts. His bottom area has got feminine stuff, if you know what I mean. Okay, because I don't want to be rude. So he comes in and he does what he always does when he comes into my life, to destroy me, to put me in the grave. Okay. So he came in the dream and he put me in the grave, guys, as always. And then this time he vomited all over me. And I was like, ugh, I was so repulsed. So I don't know what ability of mine or what energy of mine is going after. And I'm gonna have to dig myself out of that grave. He's been doing it for years, for absolute years. My ancestors call him a Muroi, a Muloi, a dark skilled practitioner, which is what he is, right? He's a dark skilled practitioner and he's very educated, guys. I just want to show you how primitive Africans are. He's extremely educated. He has a college master's degree. He has traveled the world. He is a British citizen. He earns so much more money than me. Okay. But he will still go to the spiritual to ruin me. But I'm not angry or upset because it has taken me a long time to understand something, mommy. It has taken me a long time for me to understand that everybody who is in my life was brought into my life by God, and that what they did to me, God okayed it and he was okay. So his entire purpose in his life, he literally breathes because I exist. You know, they are bit players. They are bit players in everyone's life, right? And they come into your life because you exist. If you don't exist, they don't exist. Am I making sense? So they come into your life to do something that was their purpose, something that they were meant to do. And then they leave. So, he's doing how God wired him. Okay. He's doing how God wired him and what his paternal grandfather used to do when he was alive. Yeah, his paternal grandfather was evil and his paternal grandmother, they were evil and they did this, and his mother is evil. But he's doing what is serving his purpose. Not everybody has an enlightening purpose. Not everybody has a wonderful purpose. Not everybody is the main player. Okay. Most of us are bits players. We are literally just bits players, and we are there because other energies exist. And seriously speaking, I am surrounded by bit players. None of anyone that I know, out of all my relatives, everybody who has jujued me is a main character. They are all bit players serving their purpose. So now I'm just like, oh, okay, so God has decided that I need to be put back in the graves that I just took myself out of. Okay. Okay. I hear you, God. I hear you. Okay, you've just put me in more graves that, I just took myself out of graves, people, and God decided, hell no, back into graves you go. So, okay, I accept that. I accept it. And without me, my cousin has no purpose. Without me, my cousin has no purpose. He has no reason to exist. Does that make sense what I'm saying? He has zero reason to exist. If I didn't exist, he wouldn't even be alive. I am the reason he was born. I mean, seriously. I am the reason many people were born. I am the reason many people were born. I'm totally the reason. So of course they are going to do what they came to do to me. And I got that awareness via Misty because I was warned about Misty over and over and over again, but I still wanted to love on her. I still wanted to be her friend and be there for her and love on her, la di da di da. You know what I'm saying? What made me so determined to be that woman's friend? What made me take on her craziness, because she is crazy. She's not crazy. She's crazy. I don't know. She's crazy to me. The end. Okay. She's cruel, extremely cruel, and a rat. Like literally, she's a rat. That's why she loves cats because this is the only time she can bully cats because she's a rat. No, she's seriously a rat, guys. She's a rat. So this is the only time in this lifetime that she can bully cats because cats eat rats. Anyway, the point is, not all of us, guys, came into this world as the main players. A lot of us came as supporting acts. Do I sound cruel by saying that? Can't he change his purpose? He can, and he could have at any time. But it doesn't give him as much of a thrill and as much happiness as it does to bury me in graves. And then I have to pull myself out of those graves. Then he buries me again in a grave. Then I pull myself out of that grave. Then he thinks I'm succeeding because I am destroying her. The joy is not that they can't succeed on their own. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a drug. It's like a purpose. What is your purpose? Okay. You can't run away from your purpose. Okay. The only way I run away from my purpose, and by showing you guys that I'm not doing readings today, is I discovered pretty bonnets. Okay. I discovered pretty bonnets. So when I put on a bonnet and you see me in a bonnet, it means I'm not doing readings because I don't have my ancestors' protection material and I don't have my wigs. I chant on my wigs. I chant on my wigs to make them protection. For those who, if I've never talked about that, I chant on my wigs and then I wash them in tobacco. Then I air dry them. Yes. It's like Batman as the Joker. Yes. I air dry them because they are my protection. And I do the same for my wigs. When you see me wearing all my multicolored wigs, they are all metaphysically fixed to protect me. But my bonnets are not. So when I put on my bonnets, it's a reminder to myself that I'm not doing readings. Instead, I'm pushing my energy to the beads. Okay. I'm pushing my energy to the beads. I'm pushing my energy to the herbs. I'm pushing my energy. So I'm gonna make a lot of beads, guys. I'm gonna make hundreds of beads because like it's really like my downtime with you guys, and I can talk about the spiritual, like I said, and you can ask me questions, any questions. I really think that these days I'm glowing. I really think that these days I'm so beautiful. And my ancestors say you're not even there yet. You're gonna be so gorgeous. I really suggest you all go get pricked with the needle. What do they call it? I really hate it. Ding, 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 ding. When they prick you with the needle, so for new skin to grow, right? Thank you, Mama. When they prick you with the micro needling. Yes, thank you, Cookie. I think you should all do micro needling because it's doing wonders for me. I get it done once every 4 months, and it is perfect. Then, of course, you will need to increase your beauty energy. And no, it's microneedling, not acupuncture. Microneedling. I get it done every 4 months, and then you need to increase your beauty energy so that you're bam. But what do you read when taking a spiritual bath? The Bible, Celebrity Tarot. You knocked me out. Now I'd like to ask you, why would I read the Bible, Celebrity Tarot? Let's have a discussion on this. Why would I read the Bible? What's the logic in that? What's the logic in reading one of the darkest? Why are you sorry, Celebrity Tarot? Don't be sorry. What's wrong with you? This is a fun conversation. Okay. Why would I open one of the darkest books? Most people. I'm a Sangoma. I'm not most people. I'm definitely a Sangoma. And I am Bantu. And I was born to Christianity, yes, but I gave it up when I became a Sangoma, and it was my choice because I discovered the beauty of my way, and I realized that the Christian way was demonic, and I'm not even sure that the Christian God isn't a demon. I think he's a demon because if he is responsible for the Bible, then he is evil. So no, I don't bring evil into anything I do except to stamp on it. I did use the Bible to free myself from demons because that is Christianity as a whole is a demonic religion, and they just I can. This is a good time to tell you this. So Makanda was one moment, this thing turned off. Yes. So Makanda, and I want you all to look him up because he is my direct ancestor. Makanda, Makhanda. He was a general, and he was a general and a king in South Africa of my tribe, my core tribe. Okay, and he got whatever. Anyway, he was very fascinated by white people and whiteness. Okay, he became a king. He was psychic like me. He was a sangoma like me. There are statues of Makanda in the Eastern Cape and the Western Cape too. You will find statues of him. He is the reason um he is the reason Robin Island was built. Robin Island was built to for him. They needed to put him in prison on Robben Island. And then a century later, his nephew, Nelson Mandela, ended up in Robben Island. So it's been a family thing. Okay. Anyway, where was I? Makanda, he was a psychic, he was a military general, and I do see that my psychic nature and my creative nature goes into military tactics and military stuff. And he was also very enthralled by Christianity. When it first came to Africa, he was all over it and a bag of chips. He wanted to learn so much about hold on, mommy. I'm telling you a story. I'm telling you a story about the Bible and about Christianity. Hold on, celebrity. So he was very enthralled by Christianity. He wanted the Xhosa, the Jola Xhosa, to adopt it. So he decided to join the missionaries for 8 years to be one of their disciples in South Africa. He chose to be one of the disciples to join the missionaries, and off he went for 8 years with the missionaries. When he came back to be crowned as king, this was his first statement. We must fight Christianity with everything that is in us. We must never allow it to grow. It is demonic and evil. It brings poverty and suffering to the people. Do you know why it brings poverty and suffering to the people? The white people are putting demons on us. They are unleashing biblical demons and putting them on us. He said that. He said every time you open that book, they've already done the chanting. They've already done the metaphysical stuff. You are accepting demons into your life, demons that will destroy you. They want Africa to be poor. They want us to be poor. They are unleashing untold evil and untold demonism. And of course, the Xhosa, they listened to him. They didn't become Christians until they started being hunted down by the white men, being put in cellars, basements, dying in their thousands in basements, on excrement. They were shitting on themselves, peeing on themselves, not being fed, in their hundreds of thousands, being forced to accept Christianity. Do you accept Jesus as your Christ and Savior? Do you accept Jesus as your Lord and your Christ and your Savior? And you could only get out alive if you accepted. And I'm really glad my ancestors accepted, because I'm here today. Okay. If you can't fight today, survive so that others can fight another day. This is historical. There is historical evidence. Okay, there is historical evidence in South Africa. I'm just not talking off the top of my head. Then I had the experience with Agnes, Cecilia, Miguel, Lusok. Okay, her family worked for missionaries in Angola. They worked for missionaries in Angola, and Agnes was carrying the 7 legions of demons inside her. And they had been carrying these demons. And that's why Agnes is the way she is. She is a legion of demons walking the earth. And we saw that because, well, how interesting. This is very interesting. When the missionaries died, okay, the missionaries Agnes's family was enslaved to, they told their people, When we die, you shall be responsible for this house. You shall take care of this house and make sure that this house is good. And you must always make sure that what is in the basement stays in the basement. So this is a massive house, okay? And Agnes's family for generations, they've been taking care of this house. They don't live in that house. They take care of it. And they don't go into the basement. They haven't gone into the basement for hundreds of years. You have to be special to go into that basement. Why? Because they are all carried, they are all physical carriers of the demons the missionaries put on them, proving my ancestor, Makanda, 110% correct. Okay? Correct. And when you look at countries, when you look at countries, I already talked about Tasha K. I'm not doing any readings. I've got my thing on. I already talked about Tasha K. Watch my last live. Caller, watch my last live that I did. I talked about Tasha K on that live. Maybe you missed it. Okay. So you know what? Christianity, if you look at the countries, African countries that are too Islamic and countries that are too Christian, they are so poor. They are poor because the black people are carrying the demons from those religions. So, no to the Bible. No, I only open the Bible to fight their demons. Only to fight their demons. And when you look and have been binging Patreon, I'm so glad, Kim. And when you look at African American society and the brutality that's in African American society, weren't all African Americans forced into Christianity? Weren't they all baptized? Huh? So I'm not even talking about hearsay. Okay, you can go to South Africa and you can get the history of Christianity and the brutality of Christianity, and you can hear what our elders experienced. The missionaries are not there to do good to Africans. They are not there to spread the good word or whatever it is that the ignorant. You can't tell people. Like God says, change is from the inside. It is from you. You got to also understand that a lot of evil people are attracted to Christianity. Okay, my sisters who have been killing me go to church religiously. My cousin Tao, whom I just had a running, he just put me in the grave again today. He's always doing that. It's so exhausting. But I guess that's his purpose. He doesn't have a life unless he is putting me in graves, okay? I might get too high for my boots, or something might just get too good for me, or something. I don't know. Anyway, he's a Christian, goes to church. His mother, the killer of 1,000 people, she killed 1,000 people with her juju, used to be an actual pastor. Yeah, she used to stand in front of the pulpit and preach. So a lot of dark, evil people, West Africans, they've got all these pastors who are so evil, they are reeking of evil, but they've got all these pastors. Evil people are attracted to that religion because they found a way of awakening the demons and getting the demons to destroy people they hate. But they forget about demons. Demons have no loyalty. Demons have no loyalty. Demons destroy the one who wakes them up and sends them to you just as much as they destroy the person you are sending them to. If I remember correctly, we're only allowed to, which was so cruel. Of course, So there is that, guys. So no, mommy, the long story, the long answer is because of my history with Christianity, because of my bloodline's history with Christianity, I'm not a Christian. Therefore, I do not open the Bible except to fight Christian demons that are set on me by those who can wield them. Yeah, when you see me opening a Bible, know that I'm at war and I'm looking for a passage to subdue the demons that are in my life. But at this point, my ancestors have become so good at subduing the demons anyway. I have very strong water ancestors that I don't have to. I don't have to. That's when I realized how silly Misty was for her to realize that I don't give a fuck about books. She brought me my Bible instead of bringing me my intellectual books. The dumbass brought me the Bible as if I can't get the Bible at any street corner. I'm so bitter about her, guys. I'm so bitter about her. But she was a lesson I needed to learn and I needed to get over. I needed to learn it. I needed to learn it. Okay. Do you believe this is why a lot of the pastors are greedy? The pastors when they are ordained to steal from their followers, or they are the demons themselves. I cannot look into the eyes of a pastor and not see evil. Any pastor, black or white, male or female, I see the light of evil in them. They were always like that. They just found their place in life. And you know what? That's their purpose. Their purpose is to get you all to pray the Christian way so that the demons can have a good time eating you. These people aren't true Christians. The Christians don't manipulate the word and use it. Well, I have yet to meet a true Christian. I'm 55 years old. Please point me to a true Christian because I've yet to meet one. I heard the story, but you didn't say what you read when you're doing a spiritual bath. I actually gave a lesson on spiritual baths. That's in the last live that I did. I don't read. I talk to even boil them. And then I have a whole ritual of doing the spiritual bath. When I'm in my bath, after I'm done with the ritual that I started with the herbs, right? I just, no, I go, guys, okay, Celebrity Tarot, go to my last live. I literally gave how I do a cleansing bath. I gave a step by step on how I do a cleansing bath. Okay, go and watch my live right here on YouTube, my last live. I gave a step by step on how I do a cleansing bath. Okay. There are no books involved. There are no readings involved. Enjoy because I gave a free lesson of that because I am creating cleansing sachets that are coming with my products. And I needed you all to know. So I gave you a step by step on how I do it. Can we get a video on how to get closer to God? Like I want to do more than the Friday consecration. There's only the Friday consecration. I don't know how much closer you want to get to God. How much closer do you want to get to God? My grandpa is a pastor. I asked him about what people are saying. He didn't know. Because there are demons speaking in demonic languages. They are demons. They are demons. Even your own goddamn Bible says God will not use a language you cannot understand to talk to you. I mean, I don't understand what you mean by you want to get closer to God than just consecration. Okay, like, what do you mean? I mean, what do you mean? Explain that to me, please, Dream Chaser. Because, like, you're God's child. His DNA is you're his daughter. You're his son. That's a given. You are Jesus. Okay. And you get to talk to your father every Friday. You get to talk to your father every Friday. And you cleanse after you talk to your father so that your father so that you feel close, so that you get close enough to your Father to hear him. You cleanse so that you get closer. So cleansing on Fridays after consecration and using consecration oil is the most important thing. They are not thou shalt nots. Okay, we don't rock like that. We are the Bantu. They are not thou. Just don't kill. I left Christianity, so maybe I still have an idea of a God I don't know how to explain. Yeah, Christianity say pray every day. No, well, we're not Christians, and that's a demonic religion, in my opinion. So yeah, no. You talk to your father. You are already your father's child. You don't have to earn him. You his child. If you didn't exist, he has no purpose. You're his child. His whole purpose is you. You just need him to hear you. You need him to hear you on Fridays. You need him to know that you are there, and you need him to help you. And any father worth his salt wants to help his child. Any father wants to help you. Our God is the God of love. He's not the God of wrath. That's the Christian God. He's not a vain God. That's the Christian God. The Christian God is vain, wrathful, believes in slavery. That's Christian God. He believes in killing. Our God is a pacifist. He is passive. He does not believe in fighting. He does not believe in war. He does not believe in people being brutal to one another and you being evil and saying nasty things. It's not what words. He hears the evil that you say to other people. So don't, yeah, that's important. Don't say evil things about other people because he hears you. He does not believe in verbal violence. Don't be violent. Okay? That's a must. Don't kill. Not in his name. He does not accept that. If you kill, you have to eat what you have killed. That's the rule. Eat it. There is a serial killer in Zimbabwe who said he remembered the rule of God that if you kill something, you have to eat it. So he cut up one of his victims and tried to eat her. He took out her insides, her liver, and everything because he said, God says you eat what you kill. So he started a fire. He was going to barbecue her and everything. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. So he says, well, I could not do what God had said we must do. I could not do it. And he is blaming the fact that he continued to kill because he could not do what God told him to do. So there are no rules, there are no regulations to keep you straight laced. Don't be evil to another. Don't say something horrible to another because he's listening. If you're in Bantu territory and you say something horrible, everybody stops to look at you. And then they say, you do know that the winds are listening and taking that message to God, don't you? Right? He doesn't want you to brutalize each other psychologically, verbally. The thing about people who are Christians is that they are inwardly cruel. They are vicious. They want to be holier than thou. There's no such thing in Bantuism as you are holier than me. We're equal. The job of a Sangoma is to show you the way and then to also walk her way because, she's equal to you, right? So there is no, I'm holier than thou. I do more than you do and I do it differently. There's no such thing. Be genuinely compassionate to others. Be genuinely loving to others. Be giving. Be generous. Not because you're going to get anything out of it. Just be generous. Just be generous, because God says, how do birds live? How do birds survive? Birds survive because they take just enough for themselves. Okay? Just enough for themselves. So you be generous, be giving, not because you're being forced to give, like the tithes of Christianity, that you must give the tithes, then God will do this. God has nothing to do with that. He wants you to be a community. He wants you to be together. He wants you to be each other's comfort zone. He wants you to be kind. And kindness in our religion does not begin with outward work, it begins with inward work. It begins with yourself. Are you yourself pure as an individual when you sit across God on Friday? Are you pure, or are you being a hypocrite like a Christian? Right? Where was the Christian God when Ethiopia had multiple famines? Yes. Well, the Christian God was there because he's about that life of famines and stuff like. He's about the torture of humanity, especially Black people. The thing is, are you true to yourself? Can you sit in front of God, for instance, and say, you know what, God, I gave Isabel Mitten $1. I'm just using myself as an example. $1 on YouTube. Okay. I just did that because I just felt like doing it. It felt good to do it. And then, you're telling your father, you got to look at the God of the Bantu as like a dad who watches you cycle. He watches you learn how to cycle. He says, yes, look at you. Like, look at me, daddy. I can dance. Look at me, daddy. I can dance. I can dance. And look at me. Look at what I can do. And he is like, yes, you go, girl. You did that. So when you are consecrating to God, you're talking about yourself. Yes, Ethiopia was one of the first countries to accept Christianity. Where was Jesus? Exactly. Well, Jesus was there because Jesus is about famine and stuff like that. The thing is, you are talking to your father, and you are talking to him in your absolute honesty. Okay. In other words, if horrible things happened to you in the week that you didn't understand, accuse him. Why did you do this to me? Every Bantu always says, why did God do this to me? Okay. Why did you do this to me, God? What was the point? What was the point? Why would you put me through this much pain? Express yourself with honesty. He doesn't want you to be fawning over him like a demon, like the Christian demon. He doesn't want you to be fawning over him. He doesn't want you to be. He doesn't want your fear. He doesn't want your fear. He doesn't want, he just wants you to thrive. You are his child. He wants you to thrive. He wants your walk to be easy. He wants you to love him the way he loves you. There are no conditions to the God of the Bantu's love. And that's why I'm in my religion. You can be a Christian and also be a Bantu and also do Bantuism. He's okay with that because you're gaining something, some experience from Christianity. He knows that when you die, you're still coming to him. There is freedom in being a Bantu. There is freedom. There is one rule. You shall not kill what you do not eat. On Fridays, there's another rule. Come to God in your truth. What's your truth? What is your truth? What is it that you are? Who are you? A lot of Christians are very cruel people and they are very hypocritical. You can't be a Bantu and come to the God of the Bantu in hypocrisy. Okay? If you've had a bad week, he's like your counselor. Exactly. He's like your counselor. If you've had a bad week, tell him why you've had a bad week. If you've had a good week, You are not always going to enjoy the things that you hear coming out of him. Well, me anyway. Okay. I don't know about you, but me anyway. You're not always going to enjoy what is being said. You're not going to always enjoy it. You're not always going to be enthralled by it. You're not. But he has always been honest and true with me, and he has comforted me, and I have seen the reason as to why certain things happened to me the way they did. I have seen his reasoning, I have appreciated it, and I have loved him more for it. Okay. I hope that works. Bantuism is harder than Christianity, in my opinion, because you're not dancing to, you're not dancing to a God. You're not trying to please a God. You're trying to please yourself. You're because our God thrives when you thrive. When you are happy, he is happy. Go a long time ago, you shared we can use Psalms and other biblical. Yes. No. You can't use it in consecration. No. You can't use it in consecration. Not on consecration day. No. Because our God has nothing to do with Christianity and has nothing to do with those demons. So you have to do it. If you want our God to save you from those demons and you use those, I usually do it on a Tuesday. The thing is, when you are using the Bible, you are facing the Christian God. And this I was taught by the Catholics when I was being chased by my mother's demons and Agnes's demons. When you are facing the Christian God and you are fighting the demons, you become you and you're fighting the demons and you are using the Bible. You use it like a lawyer. Am I making sense, guys? That's what they taught me. That's what them Italian boys taught me. You use it like a lawyer. You say to the Christian God, this is what you promised your people. You promised me this. You promised me that. You promised me that. But instead, you are giving me this and that and that and that. You are breaking your promise to me. And it worked. I did it several times over a period of time, and it worked, guys. I'm not going to lie. Them demons left because you are facing the Christian God, and it did work. So you take out all those verses I gave you, and you say, you see, you promised me this, but you're sending me demons. You're sending me this instead. The Christian God only holds up his end of the bargain when you pull the Bible and you show him where he has broken the contract. The Catholic Church said the Bible is a contract between God and his people. It's a contract. So you have to know, hey, Georgiana, you have to know the contract very, very well. Am I making sense? Yeah, as I told you, this gives me time to talk to you guys. You have to know the contract because the Bible, oh yeah, guys, I studied Christianity like nobody's business when I was being chased by the demons. I was being chased by the demons and I studied Christianity back and forth. I can write a book. And they told me that the Catholic priests told me that the Bible is a contract. It's a contract. Is that why Christianity, there are consequences to his promises? I don't know. But I can surely tell you that if you are miserable and you call yourself a Christian, if I'm fine, Georgiana, as you can see, I'm working. I'm actually working. I prefer to do, you've all spoiled me. So now every time I'm doing beads, I have a desire to be in front of you all. Talking and teaching, because that's the Bantu way of doing things. Your hands are busy as you teach. Okay, if you're a Christian, this is the best way to stop the misery in your life. Okay, or if you're an Ethiopian, this is the best way to stop the misery in your life. You find the passages in your life that the Christian God promised his people. Okay, you're loving it. Thank you, Miss Nye. How are you doing, Mama? Okay, so God promised his people a lot. And it's in the Bible. I know, guys, because I read everything God promised. He promised us everything. Okay. But everything he says, there is a, if you break it, okay, right? There's a threat. Everything he promised his people comes with a threat. However, the threat is two-sided. Okay? It's two-sided. In other words, you can hold God's feet, the Christian God's feet, to the fire with the Bible. The babies are growing and thriving. I'm so glad. You can hold God's feet to the fire with the Bible. So if you're going through misery and the Bible, there are passages in the Bible where God has promised you happiness, has promised his people happiness. You wake up at 3 a.m. with the Bible. Okay? You light a candle because a candle always opens the vortex between the veil and us. You light the candle and then you say, you are calling on God. Okay? You're calling on God, the God of the book. You raise the book. Okay? You're calling on the God. Don't do it on a Friday because a Friday is Bantu Day. Do it on, I used to do it on a Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay. You're calling on the God of the Bible. And then you say, then you tell him that your life has been very miserable and it has been terrible and it has been terrible and disgusting and da 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 da. Then you open the Bible and say, but you said. Then you read those passages that I think I gave some of you those passages. Then you read them. You said, thou shalt da 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 da. Then again, you said, da 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 da. Then on Psalms 118, you said, da 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 da. And then on Isaiah, you said. And then on Matthew, you said. And then you say, okay, you said all these things. You are breaking your covenant to me. Do you get it? Do you get it? Try it. Works all the time. You are breaking your covenant to me. You are breaking it. This is what you promised me, and I'm not getting it. You are breaking it. You have to hold his feet to the fire using the Bible because the Bible is a contract between him and his people. Any questions? And I've done this, guys. I've done it 1,000 times. When I was fighting the demons, I was doing it Tuesday, Wednesday. I was doing it all the time, fighting the demons. That was helpful. Yeah, I did it, and it worked for me. I followed what the Catholic Church has got a metaphysical department. I urge you all to harass them. Okay. I want them Italian boys to open their library to me so that I can go and read everything they've collected for thousands of years. If you harass the Catholic Church, they will send you to their metaphysical department. Then you will talk to the metaphysical pastors. That's what I did. Okay. That's what I did because I was waking up with scars. Do you have a spell with oregano? Not one, Mama. I don't have a single spell with oregano. Okay. So like you I don't really like using a lot of these herbs that are now commonplace because they've been used so much, they just don't want to do the work anymore. Like rosemary. I hear, oh, rosemary brings wealth. I'm talking to Rosemary, she can't be bothered because she's been overused in cooking. They have the energies, but when you overuse an herb, it's like slavery. They won't work anymore. And rosemary, that doesn't work. Just FYI, so you will never find it in my spells and rituals. It doesn't work. And oregano doesn't. Mint surprised me. Mint gives great wealth. It surprised me. But any vine gives great wealth when I think about it, including the rose, right? Any vine at all. Any vine is very good. Any invasive species is very good. Alrighty, Miss Flo. Miss Flo Archive. So I try not to. A black pepper is still very viciously fiery and it's still doing its job. But a lot of these others, they just don't work the way they won't because they just feel overused. Any questions, guys? Any question? I have a goal on YouTube, but I don't think I ever reached my goal. What is a goal? Hey, Miss Audrey, what is my goal on YouTube? Nobody wants to give me $1 for all the information I just gave you, YouTube. Tomorrow is your birthday. Really, Georgiana? What does that make you? I think I have your birthday on my phone. Yeah, my ancestors just reminded me that I have it on my phone. So happy birthday in advance, Mama. I was going to wish you happy birthday tomorrow. Yes, ma'am. I have your birthday on my phone. I do. I have something weird to say, but I don't want to seem invasive. Just say it. Just say it. Happy birthday, mommy. I was gonna send you a happy birthday message tomorrow because I have it on my phone. Okay. Um just say it. Be invasive. Be like mint. Be invasive. What are you gonna do for your birthday, Georgiana? You are blooming over there in Romania. You're looking so peaceful and beautiful and happy. Are there any air signs going through it? Going through what? I'm waiting for a lot of wisdom. Truly an honor to even listen. Working to be. Oh, that's so nice, Wagui. Thank you so much. Georgiana is absolutely beaming. I mean, elements. Oh, thank you, mommy. It's always you, the cookie. Thank you, mama. It's always you. Okay, I had a dream. I was on my knees screaming for help in front of you, and you started telling me a spell with oregano. Well, that wasn't me. That was your ancestor. She just used my face because she didn't want to scare you. She used someone that you would know. So if she told you about oregano, I suggest you go and do exactly what your ancestor told you to do with oregano. Because that oregano is specially for your energy and she knows that it will work. Okay. Yeah, whenever you dream about me, guys, know that I don't move alone, okay? So I know it wasn't me. When I move in dreams, I'm with my ancestors. So you're going to see a train of us, okay? You're going to see a train of us. I don't move alone, but I also know that ancestors will use a familiar face. You'll get it tomorrow. Good. You know what? The best thing to do with the oregano, try to hold it in your hand and try to remember the dream. Okay. Try to hold it in your hand and try to remember the dream. Because honestly, it wasn't me, it was your ancestors. Ancestors will use a face that you know in order to make you comfortable with what they are saying. Jeez, guys, this micro needling is doing its job. And my skincare routine, of course, is doing its job. Okay, I'm back. I was in pain. I had to stop watching once you got to talking about consecration and talking to God. I feel really terrible. Why do you feel terrible, mommy? Why do you feel terrible? I had a dream about Isabel too. We were hugging and I was crying. Yeah, that's those are your ancestors. Those are your ancestors reaching out. I'm telling you, you guys have such good dreams. I have such horrible dreams that sometimes I'm afraid to go to bed. Somebody's always trying to put me in a grave. I don't know why God gave me so many wars. It's like God got us restless. I think air elements are always restless mentally. I think that's your problem. I think that's your problem. I think air elements are always restless. Yeah, same go go. I think you're always restless. I think that's your problem. Every time I do an air reading, it's always mostly about your mind. My dreams are wars. Okay, so you are like me, then, Miss Fowler. Yes, then you're like me. I dread going to sleep. I hate my dreams. I really do. I hate them so much. Okay, I do. I do, guys. I hate my dreams. I really, really do. So anyway, what was I saying? Um, yeah, air elements. You have mental health issues. Lots of you have mental health. You know, you're the brilliant, always going to battle. Yes, Oni. You know, oh, thank you. You know the story. I hate going to bed. I'm always fighting and it's too much for my soul. And sometimes I wake up so depressed I can't even work because you're supposed to get rest from sleeping. Some of us don't get it because we are busy. Okay, I just regret the decisions I made. I could have done so much better. I could have been a better good person. I'm such a loser. Well, you're too young. Okay, I guess the problem here is lack of self love. You're really tired of being who you are. You're so tired of the way you look in the mirror when you stare at yourself in the mirror. You're so tired of it. You are so tired of the existence that you have right now. You are just so tired. You're so miserable. You need a change. So you are hating on yourself. You are hating on yourself, mama, because there's not enough self love. And I do remember you sent me some very beautiful makeup stuff, and I told you to do it on yourself. I said, instead of trying to make up an old lady, you make yourself up. I remember saying that to you. The thing is, if there's no self love, okay, if there's no self love, no, I'm not going to read anything Korean. Thank you. Okay. If there's no self-love, mama, you will always be miserable. You will always be unhappy. But the thing is, it's your fault. You put yourself in this box. You decided this is who I am when you're not that person. Then you are judging yourself based on the fact that you decided that this is who you are when you're not that person. Okay. So first, you have to free yourself from your own self-imposed expectations and prison. You have to free yourself from them. Even if it means that you look crazy. Like I told you, my soul, she wants to sparkle. She wants the multicolors. because there was no way I could continue being the sangoma, being sedate and normal, and I just couldn't do it anymore because my soul is not about that life. I was hating on myself. So I went with what my soul wanted: the multicolored wigs, okay, the taking better care of my hair and learning how to take care of my hair. This is the first time I'm actually doing that. You have to take yourself out of the box that you have imposed yourself in. Yeah, you are not doing anything yet because you've decided that this is who you are, but obviously that's not who you are. Okay, the journey to life, and this journey that we are on via God, is to know ourselves. When we die, God is gonna ask us, do you know who you are? And you have to say yes. And I think that's why I've got so many battles, because I'm blind to who I am, right? So fine, I accept them. The thing is, you have to become you. You're not even you. You're just trying to please the world by creating a you that doesn't exist. And now you are feeling the ropes of your self imposed prison choking you. And that's why you are unhappy. And that's why you are hating yourself. So I always say to everybody, start small, guys. Start small. Like I did. I started with my wigs. I said, I'm going to change my wigs and I'm going to change my tops. I don't want to be black no more. I just don't. Start small. Change comes real small. One thing I love about the Nigerian culture, they always ask, oh, I missed out. I missed out on the rest. They always ask what? Please rewrite that so that I can read it out for others, Oni. Start small, okay? Start changing yourself. You've locked yourself in your own prison because you think that's what the world wants to see. Okay. Do you know who you are and where you are? And they are correct, because that is exactly what the God of the Bantu will ask you when you die. Do you know who you are? I am beginning to know who I am. Yes, I'm beginning to know who I am. So you gotta start small. Start by even changing your favorite color. Start by accepting that you don't really know what your favorite color is. You don't know what your favorite color is, so you're going to look for your favorite color. You don't know who you are. Maybe you're not happy living in Israel. Maybe you faced so much racism in Israel and you've been trying to forget it. As a black Jew, you've been trying and trying and trying to hide yourself from it, but it's right in your face and it is destroying you. And so at once, if you acknowledge that your environment is bad for you, that you are unhappy in your environment, okay, that's a good start. Okay. Any acknowledgement of truth of what's going on around you helps you get to know yourself. I'm still discovering myself, but I'm working on it. Yes, ma'am. Me too. But like I said, I think I'm getting there. I think I am getting there. Anything at all. Okay. Hey Gogo, I needed that encouragement. Today's emotional by truly missing my grandma. Um, her birthday was a few days ago. It seems like um, life has been out of alignment. You got to remember that your grandma, she came, she saw, she did. Rejoice in that. And don't use it as an excuse to fall into the pit, to fall into the grave. Okay. She did that. She came, she saw, she did. If she didn't do, you wouldn't be here. Okay. Celebrate her journey. Celebrate where she came from and celebrate how far she went. And then tell yourself, can you take it further? I bet you can. Can you go further than your grandmother? But honestly, when you're making changes in life, make small changes. Okay? Make small changes. No need for you to make big changes. Make small changes. And then grow those changes. Okay? I decided I want to grow my hair, right, guys? I'm not going to get cornrowed at once because I don't want being cornrowed. Okay, small changes, small changes, small changes make permanent changes. Little changes, big changes, too quick, they don't do anything for you. Anybody who is depressed, it's because of you. It's internal. So what is affecting you internally that's making you unhappy? Okay. To me, it was Canada's racism. So I'm so glad I work for myself. I don't have to face Canada's racism every day. Okay. It was Canada's racism. It was destroying me. I don't have to face it. And I don't even want a Canadian man. I'll probably go to London there and try to flirt when I'm in London because I don't even want a Canadian man. Here is the thing, you've got to ask yourself, right? What is it? What's making you unhappy? Okay. And then you got to fix it. And it's all about you. When I tell people to be a little more selfish, a little more self centered, you all think I'm playing. But honestly, selfishness helps. Never quit on yourself. Yeah, never quit on yourself. Selfishness helps. Thinking of yourself helps because that's the only way you're going to get to know yourself. Okay? Thinking of yourself really helps. Just putting yourself first really helps. Okay? They think I'm self centered. Well, it helps. Okay. Maybe your ancestors think you're over self centered. I don't know. But thinking of yourself and being selfish and putting yourself first and not wondering what is mom going to say? What is dad going to say? What is my cousin going to say? What about my siblings? You know what? In South Africa, I just shared that story that a sister hired a hitman to kill her sister. Okay. Okay. Like, yeah, you're a super hot dog right now. What does that mean, Miss Audrey? Yeah. In South Africa, it just happened. It was on the news because I watched South African news. A sister hired another hitman to kill her sister. So the family was saying, this is so hard for us. We are weeping for one daughter because she is dead and like a hit dog. Okay. Something is going on with you mentally, mommy. You know what the best thing to do when you're having a mental breakdown? That is the that is the time to do the chamomile spell. My family are crap. I came from them. There you go. People will live whether you have okay. When you're here, yeah, that's true. People will live when you're not here, and some may forget you. That's true. I oh my goodness, hold on. Okay. Okay, I don't know what it is. Okay, now I gotta go back to TikTok. Okay, so where was I? Um, you need hit dog. Okay, so you need to just bathe in chamomile. Take like 10 bags of chamomile tea. Chant on the chamomile tea to ease your anxiety because your nervous system is on double time. Your nervous system is on triple time. So talk to the chamomile to ease your anxiety, to ease, what you're going through. And then after that, um, boil it. Okay, go back to how I taught you guys how to do ritualistic baths. I taught you in the last thingy video, and then bathe, and then do that, and then allow the chamomile to work and do it on repeat. Chamomile will ease your nervous system. It's your nervous system. Your nervous system is out of whack. Drink some of that chamomile tea too. Okay. It's your nervous system. Once you sort out your nervous system, mama, you should be feeling more on the ground. Okay. Chamomile. Chamomile is very soothing. It's very good for that. What else do I had to go to Botswana to get my nervous system fixed. What you were saying is putting everyone before yourself hit home. Yeah, that too. I realized that I can't do that anymore. I can't put everybody, you know, I can't. I can't. I can't do it. Okay. So do that. If you do it on repeat, it'll ease the tension in your nervous system, and then hopefully, I thank you, Miss Naya. You will do better. You will feel better. Okay. Also, I know this is going to sound really weird, but start watching movies that you've watched before. It regulates your nervous system. When I'm in that place where my nervous system is whack, I watch Battlestar Galactica. Okay, I've watched Battlestar Galactica over the new battles, the not the one from the 2000s. I've watched it about 50 times. So watch something you've watched before. Okay? Watch something you have watched before. Don't watch anything new. Don't look for any new entertainment. Just watch what you already know happened. Watch what you already know. Like, I already know this is going to happen because I watched it before. I always watch old movies, and yes, it does calm you down. It actually calms you down. Yeah. Watch things that you've watched before and take it seriously. As long as your nervous system, it's to take your nervous system out of the fear and flight mode that it's in right now, Miss Audrey, is to take it out of that flight or fight mode. Because if it knows what's gonna happen, if it knows what's gonna happen, it will stop, tricking. So I'm dealing with death in my family, and it's too much going on at the same time. I thank you. Yes. And as for death, everybody canonizes that natural state of being. When I die, Miss Fowler is gonna know when I'm dead. Okay. Okay. When I die, I insist that you all throw a party. And I insist that you dance. And I insist that you remember the happiness that I gave you, if I gave you any. I insist that you have the best day of your lives. People are canonizing death, and it's scary, especially in this part of the world. It's so scary. I would say, oh, death is very unusual to you guys, but it's not, especially not to African Americans. Death is right in your face when it comes to African American society. That has been my experience. It's in your face. So, okay. So, you want to do, I wish I could give you all the grief consolation kit because you all need it. Okay. You all need the grief consolation kit. You do. You all need it because you know what it is. You can't keep that death energy around you for too long because you know what it does? It kills your opportunities. Death is exactly that. It's death. Okay? It's death. Yeah. So Miss Fowler is gonna know if I die because she's in my will. In the event of my death. Okay. So there's that. Okay. But death is death. My ancestors were preparing me all along from the TV shows I was watching. Yes. Yes, Oni. Yeah. You go back to what you need to fix your nervous system, Mama. Go back to old movies that you watched, old series that you know already. I have watched Battlestar Galactica, like I said, 1,000 times. It's my favorite show, and I watch it all the time to regulate my nervous system. I know exactly what's going to happen, when, where, how, and why, because I own it, but I still do it. Yes. Yes. I still do it. It regulates your nervous system. It gives your nervous system hope. Okay. It says, oh, if I know that this is gonna happen, you gotta fool your nervous system. If I know this is gonna happen, then I've got nothing to worry about. Do you know what I'm saying? Then the worry, the anxiety goes away. So take your time, take about 3 hours of doing that. You're fooling your own chemistry. You are fooling your own chemistry. And it really works, guys. It really, really works. It really works. But for me now, regulating my nervous system has become me making these beads and putting my energies on the beads. See how I have my little finger all stuck. Spirited Away is the movie for me. Yes, you gotta find that's you too, Mama. You too, Mama was going through a hard time because she's refusing. You're like a butterfly in a cocoon. You're like a cocoon. I had a nervous breakdown the other day. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I needed this advice. Oh my God. Yeah, still do it. Still do it. So, your go to for in metaphysical science is chamomile tea and chamomile bath. Like I said, go to my last live video on YouTube and learn how to do that. And then old movies, okay? Old movies that you've watched before. You gotta trick your nervous system into a sense of security, because your nervous system has lost its sense of security. You gotta trick it. You gotta trick it by watching something you've watched before. Okay. You too, Miss Missy. The thing is, like I was saying, that you are like a butterfly that's in a cocoon, but you're refusing to be rebirthed, and that really tortures you. Gogo, what can you share about genes? How does one recover after years? I heard about genes from Sarah. They are Arabic, right? They are Arabic. Okay. So basically, if you don't have Arabic DNA, okay, they are not your problem. Okay. Also, go for a walk, and if you feel to scream in the woods, they let out. Oh, it's not possible over here. It's possible in England, but it's not possible to scream over here in any woods. Okay. Okay. What was I saying? Well, if you do not have Arabic blood, genes are not your problem. I mean, like, but you are from East Africa, and I'm sure some of your metaphysical practitioners, the dark metaphysical practitioners, have found a way of pushing genes onto you. I actually do have a, a ritual for that, but I don't remember. However, this is the thing about Arabic metaphysicality. You need to walk into the sun. Okay. So you need to, I had I had an oil from the Senegal that Sarah told me to buy. So basically, you need to get into Islamic, um uh, because she was a Muslim, right? I had by the way, Sarah was talking to me just a few days ago. She was talking to me. Yeah, she reached out. She's dead. The dead always end up talking to me. So I talked to Sarah the other day, and that's why she's on my mind. Okay. Gogo, my husband loves Battlestar Galactica. He's more calm. Uh, what's going on?
If he enjoys the strategic depth and political intrigue of
What
Battlestar
the
Galactica or
hell?
prefers a more measured pace, here are a few
Okay.
excellent recommendations. The
Oh,
Expanse. This series offers a grounded, realistic look at space colonization and political tension,
what?
focusing heavily on world building and character development. Arrival. A thoughtful.
Huh. Oh gosh. AI just took over my TikTok. Okay, I love Battlestar Galactica. I really do. I'm always engaged every time, like I haven't watched it before. So I was trying, you know what? You need to take sunflower oil. Thank you. Yeah, Sarah is back because I did say Sarah. I was talking to Sarah the other day and I mentioned her, and now she can reach out to me from where she is. So sunlight oil. You need to take sunlight oil, mama, because sunlight oil is the thing that's sunflower, sunflower oil. Okay. You need to take sunflower oil, and then you need to take I don't have Arabic data, but it's weird how sometimes I know Arabic names and terms instinctively. Yeah, you can only be affected by the gene if you have Arabic DNA for real. So, sunflower oil. I don't know. I have to sit down with Sarah and get the rest of it from her. Okay, I'll get it from her, and then I'll give it to you. So remind me next time we meet. Hi, QQ. How was that? I know she passes over a year ago. Every person who dies eventually comes to me. I'm a Sangoma. How was that? She came because of my son. I don't know. I don't know how Sarah died. I've never asked her, but I think the energy I'm getting is suicide. The energy I'm getting from Sarah herself is suicide. Yeah, yeah, that's the energy I get. I get that she analyzed herself. Okay. You know, she had a horrible life, you guys. Yes, her father was a multimillionaire, but she didn't have a life of her own because of all that metaphysicality. So, oh, thank you, QQ. Thank you so much. Can you ask her? I know she was under attack from her family. Or she went back to the fire in the cave. That's where Arabs are. That's where she went. She went back to the fire in the cave. She's in her metaphysicality. That's where she is. That's why I never bothered to ask her about. If you're asking me where she is, she's in her metaphysicality. I think she killed herself. That's the energy I get. She just got tired. You know what? She was really gifted, guys. That unfortunately is what happens to the gifted most of the time. We kill ourselves, you know. Anyway, she came to talk about my son because I'm obsessing about his hair. So she was trying. Then she came to say, "Don't you remember I told you to use cherry oil on his hair?" And that's when she came. Yeah, she came to remind me that she once gave me a hair regimen for my son. And then, of course, once I let her in, she stayed. I really loved Sarah, guys. Even though she was deadly and dangerous for me, I truly loved her. She was an equal. She was an equal. She was my equal. Okay. And I truly loved her. And I'm sorry she decided to leave. But she always knew she would leave because she couldn't take it. She couldn't take her family doing to her what they did. She couldn't take it, you know, and she would only take so far. I had no idea that her dad was a multimillionaire. He was. She went to school with Russell Simmons' daughters. She had a very high IQ, and she went to school with Russell Simmons' daughters. Yeah, he is a multi-millionaire. Yeah, and you will always find that the richer the people, the more they are into metaphysical science. So that makes sense to me. It makes sense to me that her father allowed his mother to sacrifice his psychic daughter. Yeah, makes sense. So she was talking about hair when she came. So yeah, now she's just floating about. She says she's more peaceful. She's just said that to me right now. She says she's more peaceful. She says she's peaceful here. It's not so bad here. At least I have power over here. So I guess it paid off in death. She says yes, it's paid off in death for her. There you go. She almost killed me though. She says you keep reminding me. I said, yeah, go. I'll never forget. I'll never forget. I'll never forget it. She says, you are not going to die. Yeah, she did try to downplay it even then, but I was in so much pain. I didn't have time to be downplayed. Okay, bye, Sarah. Oh my God, thank you, Mama. I'm the best. Thank you, Mama. When any of us is blessed with a family and young children, do we involve them in consecration? Well, I would if you're Bantu. I would if they are willing, and if you are Bantu, I would. I really would, Mama. I make my son do it, and he lives with autism, but he knows it. Sometimes when I'm too lazy, he will make me do it. You know, like, are we consecrating, mommy? And then are we taking cleansing bath? And I'm like, and today I really didn't want to do it. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. And today I really didn't want to do it. Now you're making me do it. Okay. So I would. Thank you so much, mommy. You are loved by me, Mama. You know that already. You know that you are loved by me. Your son is so sweet. Yes, he is. You know, I went to his IEP. Yes, he goes to a center where they go to work, and when basically the government of Canada socializes them all day. Okay, Monday to Friday. And I love it for him. I really do, you guys. And I love it for myself because they were gushing about my son. He is, and I read their energies. The people who work with him, I read their energies because that's my son. That's my heart right there. That is my heart. He is my heart, right? And so I was reading their energies. Oh my God, they love my son. No, I'm not kidding, guys. They adore him. They literally said, we've got nothing bad to say. He does not need to be improved. He is perfect the way he is. I was like, damn. Because even at home, he's not like that. Go, what is it, rebirth? Yes, it is, Kenan. We are in rebirth season. We are in rebirth season. So I think I'm good with my son. He is very expensive, but then I think male children in general can be very expensive emotionally. Your son holds, yes, he does. Oh, he does. There are times when I say, I just do not want to do this today. I do not want to do it. And then there's a knock at my door. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. And then like when I have to when I'm chanting sometimes at 3 a.m., I think my voice is very loud. because I've been chanting a lot at 3 a.m., doing the herbs and the beads, and chanting on the herbs, chanting on the beads, chanting. So yesterday I did not do it. So he came in the morning and said, "You didn't chant, mommy." And I'm like, okay, I gotta keep it down. I gotta keep it down. He must not hear me at 3 a.m. But yeah. We finished working on the African American fabric design, spiritual fabric design. I'm taking my time with it, guys, because that's my legacy. So I will unveil it to those who are coming for the retreat next year, May. Okay? It will be in your basket. When you come next year, May, the spiritual fabric for African Americans will be in your welcome baskets. Because in your welcome baskets, I'm going to put oils. I'm going to take down your names. Of course, when you book for the retreat, then I'm going to individually read each and every one of you. You're coming, Georgiana? Yes, safe. I'm going to read by Gogo. Your son might be more. Yes, he is. Okay, I'm going to read each and every one of you. See what you need. Talk to your ancestors before you come. Get what you need. And then I'm going to make it. I'm going to make the baths. I'm going to make the oils. I'm going to make it. And then each and every one of you, you will have individual baskets. And my gift to you would be the African American ancestral material, spiritual material. Okay. I think of my baby boy every day. Wish I could have held him. Um, he can still be born to you, mama. So don't kiss him goodbye. When in May, I want to do it around about this time so that we can do spring equinox together. So around spring equinox, yes, in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I'm right next door to the United States, so don't even. You can even drive to my ass, okay? You can drive to my ass. It will just take you a few hours. You can even drive because I can drive into Minneapolis 1 hour 40 minutes. So there's that. Okay. So yeah, it'll be next year, May. Next, I got professionals to professionals are handling it all. All I'm doing is selling it, and all I'm doing is putting my programs. There, you better come, Miss Clarity. All I'm doing is putting my programs in there. But you guys, it'll be glamping. You're going to be glamping. And I mean glamping, okay? I mean big time glamping. We're going out there so you will be picked up, taken to glamping out there because we're going to be hugging trees and we're going to be doing ceremonies under trees. We're going to be doing stuff. We're going to be doing yoga. We're going to be doing painting, all these activities for your nervous system. Okay, we're gonna do activities for your nervous system, and then I'm definitely gonna do one consecration with you. We'll do one consecration and we'll do one talking to the ancestors. So I'll talk to my ancestors and you talk to your ancestors at 3 a.m. We'll do it in one hall. We'll do them in one hall together at 3 a.m. Right? We'll do that. Then I'm going to see if I can get my esthetician, my skin lady, to come and to do beauty treatments because my ancestors are water. My ancestors are mermaids. There must be a beauty treatment. Otherwise, they are not participating. They are not participating. They hate ugly. So anyway, I will do that, but it'll be very spiritual, guys. Very, very. So the moment you register, the moment I say, okay, I'm taking registrations because it's limited numbers only. The moment you sound, it sounds so fun and nice refresher for the soul and body. Yes, glamping, guys, and I mean luxury glamping because I got them white girls working on it, and you know, white girls, they don't miss out on luxury. Okay, it's gonna be glamping because we want to be in nature because the Bantu are about nature. Okay, so we will be doing lots of talking to the ancestors. We'll be doing lots of those, and then we'll also do some demonic work because why the hell not? You are here. So yes, so we'll do one ancestral communing. Are they male mermaids? Yes, they are called mermen. Uh-huh. They are there. The great Corsair is a merman. Okay. So we will do one ancestral communing. We will do one consecration to God. And we will do one demonic work. Okay. I mean, why the hell not? So, yeah. Okay. We'll do one demonic ritual, so we'll do that. How about that, guys? How about that? Okay. So I'm excited, but it's going to be health and wellness and beauty and spirituality. So there will be all these activities available for you to regulate your nervous system. Lots of activities, why demonic work? Well, because African American metaphysicality is demonic. So we need to talk to the demons or shut them out. Whatever we decide to do that day, we either talk to them or we shut them out. But you do come from a demonic metaphysicality. So if we ignore the demons, we are not doing the work, if that makes sense. Yeah, thank you, Cookie. Cookie is so busy over there. So, if that makes sense. What? I don't play with demons. I have a blessed day, you all. You don't play with demons, but you are in a demonic metaphysicality. That means whether you like it or not, when you die, that's where you are going. Okay. The demons will be waiting for you when you die because your soul belongs to them. So I had to do all these 12 midnight rituals to block the demons from my life, right? Because I'm a Bantu. I was blocking them from my life and it worked. Oh, I did so many and they worked. So, of course, we have to do demonic work. You have to choose. You have to choose whether you want to go back to the belly of the demon where your soul came from, or you want to go to the Bantu because you have Bantu DNA. So if you decide that you want to go to the Bantu, you don't have to go to the Bantu, but if you decide you do not want to go back to the belly where you came from, because you're African American, you do come from demonic metaphysicality. Because West Africans, their metaphysicality is demonic, right? And you inherited it. So if you do not want to go back to those bellies, you have to do rituals to close them, right? So we will be doing that. We'll be closing the bellies. We'll be saying thanks, but no thanks. It's my time to fly. So we'll do one of that, right? Because that's all I know. All I know is how to get rid of demons. I don't know anything else. Where there is light, there will be dark. Yes, ma'am. I don't know anything else. I'll be your cheerleader on that party. I don't know anything else. I just know how to get rid of them. So I can only teach you what I know. Okay. What I know is to get rid of them. Okay. If you don't want to get rid of them, you don't participate. Okay. But if you want to get rid of them, I'm your girl. I'm your girl. Okay. If you want to get rid of them, I'm there like white on rice because I know how to get rid of them. So we will do that. We'll do one just to give you experience. What is the point of you coming and not learning in depth shit? Some of these things are done at 12 midnight. You get rid of demons at 12 midnight. So we have to wake up at 12 midnight, and I have to wake up with you at 12 midnight. We talk to our ancestors at 3 a.m. We talk to the land ancestors at 3 a.m. So I have to wake up with you at 3 a.m. We talk to the water ancestors, i.e., the mermaids and the mermen, at 5 a.m. at sunrise. So on the day that we do the land ancestors will do the sunrise ancestors, but the day before that, we can get rid of the demons, right? So 12 midnight the day before, we will get rid of the demons, right? And then the next day, we will hail our ancestors at 3 a.m. and at 5 a.m. How about that? Does that sound like too much? Does it sound like too much for you guys? Thank you, Cookie. Cookie is doing the Lord's work over here. Cookie is doing the Lord's work. Thank you so much, Cookie. Does that sound like too much? Is that something that perfect? Thank you. Is that something that you guys can do? Okay. That's something. And then on top of that, you've got all these other activities to regulate your nervous system because anxiety is a big problem with the spiritual. It really is. So there's a lot to regulate your nervous system. And then there are walks. There are walks because that's part of being Bantu. So we'll be taking walks in the forest. And believe me, you don't know forest until you've seen Canadian forests, okay? We have got the greatest nature. America ain't got shit on us when it comes to nature. You ain't got shit on us, okay? So we will be doing that, right? We'll be doing lots and lots of all the activities are so many. So anyway, I will have it all by June 2 because I'm meeting the coordinators. How will you accommodate people with different metaphysicals? Like what? Right now I'm accommodating you. What is different? Here's the thing, guys. There's no such thing as a different metaphysical. We all belong to the same metaphysical pie. We all belong to the pie. They are gorgeous, aren't they, Mama? They are. We really do have gorgeous nature. We all belong to the same pie, just that each and every one of us has got a piece. So I'm totally looking forward. But then I know African Americans. I know you guys. I have a child by one of you. I was with one of you. I know you guys. So we we're not different. That's my whole point. That's my whole point. We are not different, okay? We're not different. And we are there to learn from each other, okay? I learn from you as much as you learn from me. That's my whole point. The more you know, the better the choices and decisions you make when it comes to your life. Am I right? How long will this retreat take? Well, we're not sure, but I was going for like 3 nights. I really was going for like 3 nights, but I'm gonna ask you guys when we start 3 nights or 4 nights, right? I love walking in the forest. Well, then you will love the Canadian forest because it is truly a forest. It is amazing. It's amazing. Okay. Our country is bigger than the number of people in it, so that should tell you something. Yeah, so I'm going like 3 nights, but then if we do 3 nights, you might all be too exhausted to do getting rid of demons, consecration, getting rid of demons, communing with the ancestors, consecration. That might be a little too much for your physique. So we will see. We will see. But definitely it's glamping and it will be out of Winnipeg. We will drive out of Winnipeg to go where we're going. And I know it's going to be cool, you guys. I just know it's gonna be cool. I'm just so looking forward to it. So I'm meeting with the ladies who are organizing uh the accommodations and the other programs. So I'll have a better idea. Okay, I'll have a better idea. But guys, let me tell you, this is my way of also learning how to build the ark. I'm hoping that this will be an annual thing. So for those of you who can't even afford to come to South Africa when I do have the ark, this is a great beginning. Don't you think so? I'm learning. I am learning how to be there for others, so I want my arc to even have people who had addiction issues and went to rehab, and then after rehab they had nowhere else to go. Yes, you're great. Yes, yeah, it is a great learning experience. I'm learning. Having a dream is not enough. You've got to learn. You got to learn. You got to learn how to run the dream. So these ladies are amazing. My energy loved them at once and how they do what they do. And I was like, yeah, yeah. So even if the arc is built, I am hoping that this program will still carry on for those who can't come all the way to South Africa, right? This program will still be here on the ground, and you can still come and we can still heal together, right? So I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. This is the road to the arc. So it may look like I am, this is the road to the ark. That's all I gotta say. This is the road. This is the road to the ark. So I'm gonna meet with the ladies again, and then they're gonna show me what they got, and then I will be back. You know how I am. I will inform you. Am I expecting a lot of people to come? I never expect a lot of people. Just wondering about the people who don't go to the belly and death. Let's say, oh no, Mexicans do have a demonic religion. They do, and so do Asians. They do. They go to where they go. I just know where the West Africans go. They go to the belly. But Sarah was Ra's disciple, right? Sarah was Ra's disciple, and she is in a cave, in a hot cave. Each god has got their own place. I gotta tell you though, that's the Native American god is about beauty. That's all I can tell you, because that's it's a beautiful place where they go. Asians, I don't know. The thing about Asians, I don't know. I don't know. Frankly speaking, only the Korean metaphysicality is the only one that I'm comfortable with, because it's a very, I'm just comfortable with it. Okay. I'm not comfortable with Asian metaphysicality. Okay. I'm not, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. It's a very cruel metaphysicality. Yeah, that's all I can say. I'm not comfortable with it because it's extremely cruel, and that's all I can say. It's extremely cruel. So there is that. So yeah. So I know that the native god, he's about beauty because they go to somewhere so beautiful. Gogo, aren't Koreans and Chinese the same metaphysicality? No, absolutely not. They are not. You know what's so funny about the Chinese metaphysicality though? Even the Korean one. It's exactly what I'm saying. Like Christianity is about what can I do for God? Okay. Korean metaphysicality, Chinese metaphysicality, and Bantu metaphysicality. It's what can God do for me? Do you know what I'm saying? Christianity is like, what can I do for God so that God can view me as the favorite? Okay. But uh, Bantu metaphysicality, what can God do for me? That's like, and Korean metaphysicality is what can God do for me? And Chinese metaphysicality is what can you do for me? But they are not the same. They are not the same people. Just because they look the same to you doesn't make them the same people. Like we are all black people look the same, but we are not the same. So, you know. So yeah, Christianity is always about what can I do for God? What looks right? And I have never met a true Christian. I've never. I think I'm gonna die without ever meeting a true Christian. Eastern Europeans and Western Europeans are different. Exactly. Exactly. You know, I don't think I'm ever going to meet a real Christian. I don't think so. They took what Jesus was teaching them and they walked it and twisted it and changed it. So there's that. Okay. So anyway, yeah, it's like I'm looking forward to it, guys. It'll have me in my life. I must always have something to look forward to. Otherwise, I will just analyze myself. I'm looking forward to seeing the birth of this retreat. I really am. I also, when we do the ancestral function, I actually want us to eat at that time. I want us to do exactly the way it's done in Africa. I'm really excited to go as well. It'll be so worth it. Yes. So it's like I want to do it exactly the way it's done. Okay. Like we talk to the ancestors and we start eating. We talk to the ancestors at 3, we talk to the ancestors at 3. We are eating, so we eat with our ancestors. And then at 5, we talk to the water ancestors while we eat dessert. And then after we're done talking to the ancestors, we dance until 7 a.m. We dance to music, and that's why we needed to be far out in the Bundus. We dance to music, to the drum beats, and then we sleep much later in the day because we've done it. The congratulations, Makulu. Why, thank you, Mama. That's what I want. I want to do it the way it's done. Okay. They are aliens. Yes, Dream Chaser, they are aliens. If you're arguing about that, they are aliens. Okay. Um, all the South African Sangomas said it thousands of years ago. They The arrival of Asians to Earth in a spacecraft was witnessed by ancient Africans. It's not something that we just make up. We witnessed it as their spacecraft was coming. Clonk, clonk. Okay, we are, yeah, okay, I agree, but I might as well tell you that story has been passed down. Just that it has been passed down generation from generation from generation. it's been passed down. We saw them with the naked eye. Woo-doo, 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 woo-doo. Boom. Okay. And so it explains a lot why they are the way they are. You have to meet Asians in the spiritual, like I have. They are different. Okay, let me just say that. When you meet them in the spiritual, because no one in any belief system is perfect. Everyone in any spiritual can only try to be the best that they can be in their hearts, minds, and actions. Well, we the Bantu, we don't strive for perfection. Not even in our belief system, because our belief system is very easy. It's easy to us. We're free. Why can't they get back then? And what they, according to the Zulu, they crashed. They can't go back. They were lost and they crashed. The thing is, when you are Bantu, you got to throw away your Christian expectations. Your Christian expectations are a prison. Okay. Christianity imprisoned your mind. Okay. Throw away those Christian expectations and live and be happy. Live, live, live in your truth. So, anyway, the thing is, they were witnessed. It's so interesting that BTS became the biggest boy in the world or in America. No one gives a fuck about BTS outside North America. Nobody gives a fuck about them, okay? So don't say the world, okay? Say America, okay? And we know why they became famous in America. All these little black American girls, they want to have sex with them. They want to sleep with them. That's what it's about. They are horny. They want to sleep with them. And that's why they moved to South Korea to see if they can get themselves a BTS wannabe. Oh, see, Onyi is asking. Onyi is British over there. Onyi is British over there, and she's asking, who is BTS? Not every girl in the world has the hearts for Asian men. Not every black girl in the world has the hearts for Asian men, no matter how they look, okay? Not every black female, just African American girls, just black American girls, they got it bad. They got it bad. Isn't there a song that says we got it bad? Just black American girls. They want to sleep with those boys. They want to sleep with those men. They go to South Korea looking for BTS. Any black girl who is obsessed with BTS is because you want to drop your panties for them. Yes, you do. And there's nothing wrong with that. They are human. They are on this earth. Your job is to drop your panties for them. That's your job. But trust and believe, you are in the minority. You're not in the majority, okay? Just get that in your heads. You are in the minority. Okay? You just want to have sex with them. Okay? That's what it is about. It's about lust. L-U-S-T. And you've all taken yourselves over to South Korea there, lasting after them and having sex with them. And some of you have had babies with them. And some of you have married them only to want to come back to the United States, because that's just fantasy. Okay? Thank you so much. Take your desire to have sex with BTS, well, to South Korea. Okay? To South Korea. Okay, the world is big. The world is just not the United States of America. The world is huge. I urge you to travel. See, there's someone else asking, what the hell is BTS? It's a South Korean boy band that little black American girls wants to have sex with. Okay, little black American girls have it hard. They have it bad for BTS, and it's your right. It's your choice to have it bad for them. It really is. I am a, I am, I am an equal opportunity employer. Okay, any man for me, as long as he is good to me, and of course, as long as my ancestors agree. As long as my ancestors agree. So I'm an equal opportunity employer, okay? I don't have a problem with you taking your panties off for BTS, such as life. Go do that. But trust and believe it, you're in the minority. Nobody else knows who BTS are. Every time I get that question, it's coming from a black American girl. Always. Can you do BTS? It's a black girl. Can you do BTS? It's a black girl. Can you do BTS? It's a black girl. It's a black girl. BTS is not even popular in India and they are all Asians. BTS is not even popular in Vietnam and they are all Asians. BTS, oh, okay. Then you are the first. BTS is not even popular anywhere but America. And America is not the world. Okay, Violet, it's not the world. It's just America. BTS is not even popular in the Philippines. What the fuck? Like, it's only in America because little black girls wants to have sex with them. And that's, like I said, that's cool. I'm about that. In fact, that was God's plan in the beginning. In the beginning, He thought we would all intermarry and mix and create something better out of His mistakes. He expected us to all marry white people and mix with white people and have black babies. Do you know that Backstreet Boys? Is it Backstreet Boys? No. The guys, Boys to Men. Boys to Men. They just performed at a wedding in Zimbabwe. They literally just performed at a wedding in Zimbabwe, Boys to Men. Okay, so where was I? God expected us to mix and mingle and to have babies with amazingly different energies, right? And it didn't happen. It did not happen. That person had money. Only Zimbabweans have money. Let me tell you, there was this Indian man who was saying there are more millionaires and billionaires in Zimbabwe than in the rest of Africa. And that's true. That's true, Oni. Zimbabweans own the whole of Namibia. Literally, that's true. Robert Mugabe left his people, but our culture stops us from talking about money and about that sort of stuff. But yeah, Boys to Men performed at his son's wedding. And they were among a whole bunch of performers. So we can move to Zimbabwe from America. It'll be very difficult for you to do. Very, very difficult, Mama. I urge you not to try. I'm a homegirl, a sister, and I don't know anything about BTS. Well, perhaps Violet, who's been dying about BTS, can tell her because she wants to have sex with them. She's been on my live talking about BTS. Perhaps she can tell you all why she wants to have sex with them and who they are. But yeah, it's like it's like oh, don't argue with Violet about that. Violet has got Asian Fetish. She fetishizes. Fetish. What is it called? She has a fetish. Yeah. Violet has a fetish. Okay. Don't argue with people who have a fetish. Having a fetish is almost like a mental health issue. Leave it alone. Let her enjoy her fetish. Okay. So boys to men. What was I saying? Somebody said no. Zimbabwe. Uh, it's a closed state. Let me just put it that way. It's a closed state. It's difficult to get citizenship there. It's difficult to live there, even on a temporary basis. They just don't allow it. I hope that makes sense. They just don't allow it. But there are a lot of Chinese people who are Zimbabwean citizens now. A lot of Chinese people who are Zimbabwean citizens. So many guys, so many. When I went to Zim the other day, and well, we always had Chinese people who were citizens because the Chinese were brought to Zimbabwe as slaves, right? But I'm talking about the new Chinese, not our own Chinese, the new Chinese, not the ones who came as slaves, the new Chinese. There are so many of them now, and they are all citizens. When I went to Zim, the citizens line was all Chinese. I was like, damn. Oh my God. I was like, damn. I was just like, damn. Like, I was feeling like a minority in my own country. I was feeling like a minority in my own country. I was like, am I in China? Is this a Zimbabwean passport? What the frick is going on here? So yeah, there is that. Okay, like, yeah, it's very difficult to get citizenship in Zimbabwe. It's They are very xenophobic. It's very I cut this one too much. It's very Zimbabwe is very quietly xenophobic, and so it's very difficult to you have to have a good reason. Okay, you have to have a good reason. Let me just say, you have to have a good reason for them to give you quietly. Yeah, Zimbabwe is very xenophobic. It's very xenophobic. You know how loudly xenophobic South Africa is? Zimbabwe is quietly, it's very xenophobic. Do you have any positive things about Zimbabwe? Oh yes. Oh, so many. I love my government. I love it. I love my government. I love the way Zimbabweans think. I love the way Zimbabwe is developing. It's amazing. It's got real, well, what did the president say? Real Mutapa Empire, because we used to be part of a huge, huge empire called the Mutapa Empire, right? And we are developing in our own. I don't know, it's just amazing. My country is amazing with the most amazing people, and it is extremely peaceful, and it is beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's so clean. That's okay, mama. It's Zimbabwe is so clean. Oh my God, it's so clean. Zimbabweans are obsessed with cleanliness, and it's so clean. You can eat off the floor, and the public toilets are so clean. Oh my God. Oh, cleanliness. Zimbabwe gets 110%. There are so many things I love about Zimbabwe. I love my government. I love my government. I love the systems of my government. I love the development of my country and the direction in which it is going. I just love it. I love Zimbabwe. Okay. Just because I have personal issues with the family I used to have in Zimbabwe, it's completely different from me not loving my country. I do. It's my first country because right about now I'm almost living longest in Canada than Zimbabwe. Yeah. I'm living longest in Canada than Zimbabwe. So I'm more Canadian, right, than I am Zimbabwean now because I've spent more years in Canada than in Zimbabwe. But I'm honest about my people. They are extremely intelligent, extremely stratified, extremely well ordered. The systems work. They are extremely, and in that, and in their extremeness. Oh, yeah. Somebody said Zimbabweans are like Germans, that we have the same kind of mentality and energy as the Germans. I agree. In that, I agree in that because we are so stratified as a people, we will be nice to you if you visit and you leave. Okay. But you gotta leave. Do you know what I'm saying? We will be the nicest. We will be the nicest. We will be loving on you and hugging on you, but you have to leave. We don't want to we don't want you to introduce your culture. We don't want you to introduce your difference to us. You have to leave, and uh, we keep our refugees in camps. Like South Africa has got their refugees out on the streets. We keep our refugees in the camps because we don't want you socializing with our people. In other words, we are like, you will ruin our cohesiveness. Besides South Africa and Botswana, I always wanted to visit Zimbabwe. You should. I'm telling you, the best vacations I have are Zimbabwe. Okay. I don't enjoy South Africa as a vacation, and I don't enjoy Botswana because they are not as organized. I don't know, they're just not as organized. Oh my God. It's just horrible. Whereas in Zimbabwe, the organization is so cool. It's like, I think South Africa is beginning to do that now. They're beginning to copy from us. In Zimbabwe, you can just book a hotel. Okay. You can book a hotel and you can just go to that hotel, and then and then they will just say, so what do you want to do? And they will organize everything for you, the touring, absolutely everything. And then you just pay everything there. I don't know. It's just, then they will just call you, say your car is here, you're this. I don't know. If I want to relax, it's Zimbabwe. If I want to go to where I can do touring without the hassle, it's Zimbabwe. South Africa, not so good. Botswana, absolutely not. But Zimbabwe, just book a hotel. Just go. They got you. And that's why Zimbabwe won the best country to tour in 2025. It did. Forbes. Zimbabwe was number one. Forbes list of best country to tour because it's beautiful. The systems work. Okay. If something happens to you, there is a helicopter ambulance service. So you're good. It's got state-of-the-art hospitals. And best of all, you just have to book a hotel. Any hotel. Just book it and go. And they got you. They got you. They got you from day one till the day you check out. They got you. They're going to make sure that you are busy doing something. And because you just pay right there at the hotel, you pay for everything at the hotel, right? And then you're just going to be picked up for things to do. So, yeah, it's like the other countries. South Africa is trying. It's trying, but it's not yet at Zimbabwe's level. Because in South Africa, you still have to look for things to do by yourself. Whereas Zimbabwe, they got you. They got you. They just, you don't have to look. They literally have an office for activities. Okay. And you go into that office and you sit down, any hotel, and you're good to go. They will, anything you want, anything. I need a ride to the airport. They got you. You know what I'm saying? They got you. But to live in Zimbabwe, you really have to be married to a Zimbabwean. Otherwise, it's not possible. You have to be married to a Zimbabwean. Our immigration is not friendly. My country used to be like that till those military corrupt people took over. Yep, I see. Go and ordering the beads. Can we choose the color or will you do it? No, you can choose the color. I will do it June 15. Okay. I will open up the beads. I will be here selling. You'll be sending the money to my PayPal with your addresses, and you can write blue beads on the PayPal notes. You can write blue beads or green beads, or I'm not doing green, but you can write blue beads. You can choose your color. This black is for the males, but if you guys want black too, you can say black beads. Okay. So the sale is June 15 on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, I was discussing Zimbabwean xenophobia. Yeah, Zimbabweans are xenophobic. Really, all Southern Africans are xenophobic. You're not gonna go into a Southern African country and make a home of it if you're not Southern African. All Southern Africans are xenophobic. That's just the way we roll. Just that South Africa is allowing its people to do the dirty job. How will the delivery work? The same, Mama. I will have to ask you to send me money for England to mail it because it's very far. Here's the interesting thing. Canada's mailing service is only geared for the United States. Everywhere else is expensive. Even if I'm sending to Canada itself, it's expensive. Yeah, June 15, guys. June 15. This money is going to the ARC fund, right? It's going to the ARC fund. So June 15. So yeah, I just have to tell I'll just have to tell you to send me more money for mailing. Honestly speaking, and this message is for all Africans, don't try to make a home in Southern Africa. Okay, don't do it unless if your mother or your father is from that country. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you, we are xenophobic. I don't know about West Africa, and I don't know about East Africa, but I know my people and I never sugarcoat it. I tell it like it is. Even if they aren't African and from diaspora, I don't know. The only ones I knew were African American women married to Zimbabwean men. And they preferred living in Zimbabwe than in America. They really did. This African American lady said to me, New York is not home anymore. Every time I go to New York, it's just not home. I'm happier in Zim. So I know a lot of African American women married to Zimbabwean men who live in Zimbabwe. And Jamaican women married to Zimbabwean men. Yeah. Jamaican women married to Zimbabwean men. If those Igbos and Yoruba wants to give up the ghost, fair play to them. They love to explore. Well, yes. And but why is, you know what it is? And I will be honest. You know what are your thoughts of the Somalis in South Africa? I don't have any. I really don't have any thoughts. I have met them in South Africa. I don't have any thoughts. Okay, one moment, guys. Ow! Hello? Thank you. Bye. Okay. I have met them. Okay. I have met the Somali in their little shops in South Africa. And I have met them in the townships. And I have heard what the Xhosa think about them. The Xhosa say they are violent. The Xhosa say these people are very violent. And there isn't I personally don't have any thoughts. I tend to look at life from an economic perspective. Okay. And when you're in Africa, it's very clear, right? It's like when you have money, whether you are a foreigner or not, you are pretty much cushioned. Does that make sense? You are safe, okay, when you have money. Yeah. When you don't have money, you are not safe in Africa. That's how I see it. Okay. Yeah. So the Xhosa say that they are violent and blah blah blah. But because when I'm in South Africa, I have money, so uh I think the xenophobia is in my blood as a Southern African. I was gonna email you about it. I think so too. I think me too. I think it's in our blood. I really do believe that. I think it's in our DNA. So, it's like when you have money, you're okay. When you don't have money, that's when the problems begin. That's my belief. Okay, that's my belief about Africa. As long as you have money, because you would just drop off in the wealthier areas, right? You would just, sir, do not open my packages.
Sorry. Mom, the groceries.
They're coming later. Bye.
Sorry, Mom.
Okay. So, when you have money, it's a whole different story from when you don't have money. I think when you are poor in Africa, that's when the xenophobia really hits you because you are seeing these foreigners every day in your face. If you are South African, if you are Mozambican, if you are Zimbabwean, if you are Botswana, if you are Namibia, you're not seeing them in your face, right? But if you are South African, you are seeing them in your face. Do you know what I'm saying? So you get bothered, right? But when you have money, you're not seeing them. So you're not bothered. So your ancestors are cool because I do feel that my ancestors reacting. But then, it's in my blood. But then because I'm nowhere near them, my ancestors are okay with it. But I gotta tell you, South Africa has got too many foreigners. I just think so. I just think so. Like too many foreigners actually taking the jobs of the South Africans themselves. I believe that because that has been my experience. That has been my experience. Okay. I'm just saying. But in Zimbabwe, we don't see them because, well, we just don't. Like, because our immigration service is just tougher. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, so many things I love about Zimbabwe. So many things. They're the cleanest people on earth. I have yet to meet people that are cleaner than Zimbabweans. I really no. I really, and it's so peaceful. Zimbabwe is so peaceful, and the crime rate, like you getting hurt, it's almost zero. I mean, there's a lot of theft like anywhere else, but it's not a violent country at all. Zero violence. And like Zim is very nice. I like being in Zim. See? You too? Yeah. It's very peaceful, and we don't have as many foreigners. So I the thing about having foreigners as a Bantu is that your guard goes up. I don't know if it's just me. Okay. It's like when I'm in Cape Town and I come across the Somali, immediately my guard goes up. Okay. My guard goes up. Now I'm fearing for myself. Nigerians are also in Zim. My friend from there was telling me they're in the capital. Yes, I know they are, but they don't do what they do in South Africa. I know that they are Nigerians in Zimbabwe, but they don't do what they do in South Africa because like I said, our government keeps an eye on them, right? But the thing is, I don't feel safe among other Africans. So when you wonder why, well, the Zimbabwean government keeps an eye on them, right? You know, like I don't feel safe when I'm around other Africans in Africa. And I only feel safe around my own people, right? I feel safe in Zimbabwe. I feel safe in South Africa when I'm among my own people. But if I come across Nigerians in Zimbabwe, yeah, Zim police are top tier, yes. You know, if I come across Nigerians in Zimbabwe, I feel safe because I know that if they get out of hand, they're going to be dealt with, right? But if I come across them in South Africa, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe meeting Somali in South Africa. I don't feel safe. I know we have Somali in Zimbabwe, but again, because our government is so yeah, you know, our government is so, our police force is so, do you know what I'm saying? I mean, our systems, they work. So I like, yeah, that's my only problem with xenophobia. I don't feel safe among other Africans. So except the Southeast. Okay, so I can only put my guard down and enjoy my stay in South Africa if I'm surrounded by Southeast. And it's difficult to do when you're surrounded by the Congolese. Okay, when the Congolese are doing the jobs that the Southeast should be doing. I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't feel safe. I don't feel, I can't exhale. I can't go right. Whereas in Zimbabwe, I can exhale. Okay. And in Botswana, I can exhale because once you got to understand that many of these African countries are at war. The people are violent. And so they run to other countries saying we are seeking safety, but they are still violent. You know, so you don't know what you're getting. Okay. It's because they sold their own, they want. Yes, exactly. You don't know what you're getting. You are getting the violent people of another country, and you know what happened in that country. You know that they killed people. You know that they did horrible things. And now you're facing them. You are facing them in South Africa, and you are blinking like, why am I facing you? Yeah, I'm being honest. You're facing them in South Africa and you're wondering, why? Why? I bet you're going to kill me. So I don't feel safe. I only feel safe with Southeast. Okay. I don't feel safe. I'm like, you're just going to kill me, man. You're just going to kill me. And then there's the problem. Exactly. Yeah, you know, and then they want to, we deal with that state to state. Girl, I lived in the woods in California. It wasn't like that. But then, okay, yeah, I lived in the woods in Stockton, California. It wasn't like that at all. But then, I hate what they say about South Africans. Okay, so they know I'm Zimbabwean, right? They know from my accent, right? And then they think first they are working at a job that should be done by a South African, right? But they are working at that job, and I know they got that job through corruption because one of them got employed and started employing the others, right? I know that. I know how the system works. And then they feel safe to insult South Africans to my face. Okay, so South Africa is harboring people who hate them. That really bothers me. So they will say the most horrible things about South Africans until I say my father is South African, and then they are quiet. But you hate these people. Why are you in their country? You brought hate. Okay? You brought hate. These people did not come to you. You came to them. And then you say the most disgusting things about them. And you think you're talking to a comrade, you think you're talking to a friend, but I'm not your friend. You're insulting my people. You know what I'm saying? You're in their country, you're eating their food, they are giving you shelter, they are giving you safety, then you proceed to insult them in front of me. And I just want to kick you out of South Africa myself. You know? Do you know what I'm saying? So, what do I feel? I feel they should go home. I feel they should go home. I feel they are not bringing anything to America, to South. They're even pooping on us. Of course. I feel they are not bringing anything to South Africa except degradation. And one day they will just start a terrorist movement and kill all the South. It's jealousy, honestly. It's jealousy. It's seeing the work of, because they want to say white people built South Africa. That's not true. Okay? They were enslaving black South Africans, black Zimbabweans, black Botswana. It's in our history to build South Africa. South Africa was built on the blood of our ancestors, right? But they are jealous. They are jealous of what South Africa is and what it has created. And so they take out their jealousy in being in degrading South Africans. They take out their jealousy in degrading South Africa. Basically, they want to take over South Africa. They want to take over. But then, isn't that the very same thing that brought you to South Africa to say, please, please, we are being hunted. Save us, save us. I blame the South African government because they tried that with Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe took them to refugee camps. Zimbabwe built refugee camps and put them in refugee camps. I blame the South African government by giving them the freedom to be all over South Africa. They should be in refugee camps. The Congolese should be in refugee camps like they are in Zimbabwe. That's just what I feel. I feel like the South African government is to blame. The South African government should have them all in refugee camps. The South African government should build refugee camps. You know what I'm saying? Because Zimbabwe built refugee camps, and that's where the Congolese are. They stay in the refugee camps. So they never get to see us. We never get to see them. So they don't hate us. They don't become envious, and they don't hate us. Ramaphosa should stop being nice. Well, the thing is, we did a reading on that Cinderella, and we saw that the South African government is actually using March and Dudula to get rid of their problem. They are behind all this. The South African government is behind all this. They're trying to get rid of their problem using civil marches and stuff, but they are really behind it all. And then after March and March succeed, they will then imprison the leaders, and then they will say, then they will imprison the leaders. Then they'll say, you were breaking the law. So, I feel sorry for those who are, but that's basically what it is. They are being used because the South African government should have built refugee camps for them and kept them in refugee camps before they polluted the country. So is Zimbabwe smart or what? Because Zimbabwe, and you know what? It was very stressful for Zimbabwe because they gave them stoves. They built these really beautiful townhouses. We saw them, we went there. The townhouses were gorgeous. And they were complaining that the Congolese didn't know how to use a stove. So guess what they did? They took the stoves out of the kitchen. They built holes in the center of these kitchens, and they built a fire pit to cook. So then the Zimbabwe government would come and tell them, this is how you use a stove. This is electricity. This is a toilet. You don't wash your vegetables in the toilet. You know, because they were going outside to defecate, and then they were washing their cabbages and whatever in the toilet. So they were teaching them how to use, and then they would fix it, right? They would fix the townhouse and leave. They'll come back 6 months later, they've done it again. They've taken the stoves outside. They are cooking, or, you know, and they are using the floor to cut food and all that. They are using the floor. And the general who's in charge of it said, that's just the issue. They are not yet at our level of civilization, and we can't let them out into the public because they are not yet at that level of civilization. Like, we have laws, you know, we have a police force, okay? And if you break the law, you're going to go to prison. They said they don't have the mental capacity to understand that. You're laughing at us, Kelso, but are we not the clever ones, though? Come on, Kelsa, give my country. Are we not the clever ones? So it's like people who don't know about law and order, they will commit crime. Yes, they will sell drugs, thinking it's okay, thinking the people of that country were stupid not to sell the drugs, so we will sell the drugs. You know, they are not yet mature enough because they come from a country with no civilization. So Zimbabwe keeps them in a camp because they can't be with us. But South Africa lets them run riots. And what did they do? They started abusing little girls, dealing drugs, and now shooting. Nigerians were shooting each other on the streets of South Africa over drug warfare. Nigerians go to the police station and fight police officers and shoot at them because they don't understand law and order. See, they should have been in the concentration camps, not the concentration, the refugee camps. They don't understand modern civilization and what it takes. So they go to South Africa, they go wild, and they bring crime, human trafficking. They've been trafficking people since the days of slavery. They bring human trafficking, they bring rape, they bring drugs. You know what I'm saying? They pee outside. They don't know that they're making noise when they are talking too loud. They needed, they needed to be trained in civilization. They needed to go to a camp, like what happens in Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, if you say I'm a refugee, I'm declaring refugee status, they're like, good, take your luggage, let's go. To a refugee camp. And in that refugee camp, they get to learn about civic society. They get to learn That's why many of them don't run to Zimbabwe, because they know that if they come to Zimbabwe, they are going to a refugee camp. No, they want to go to South Africa where they can commit crime, poop on the streets. I knew that was going to happen, because you know what? Angola had the same issue with the Congolese and pooping on the streets. And pooping on the streets and sleeping in elevators. Yes. They would destroy the elevator to make a home out of it. Angola was crying. The country Angola was crying. Yes, they were destroying the mechanics of elevators and then just creating a home inside the elevator. And Angola didn't know what to do with itself. I am so sorry. Oh my God, I am so sorry. I wish I hadn't remembered that. But the thing about Africa is that a lot of Africa is very undeveloped because their leaders have stolen and run away. Okay. And, it's very undeveloped. So they can't be a united Africa until we are all equal. Miss Gogo, when will the poor and lower middle class be able to have a shot at being successful in the music industry? Never. Unless if you do something different, but we will look at that another day. I'm not doing readings right now. Do you know, at least you have some brains down in the South. East Africa is a mess. Well, yeah, that's true. But I think it's our cohesiveness as the Bantu. Honestly speaking, I think if we were, because East Africa has got all the tribes, the Nilots, the Creoles, I think it's difficult for you, but we are just 100% Bantu. So it's easy for us. It's easy for us to be cohesive. It's easier. I think we lack doubt when it comes to that. But honestly, guys, Africa my dad used to say, civilization in Africa ends at the border of Zambia. And unfortunately, that's true. I mean, have you seen Africans who do that trip of Africa from one end of Africa to the next? Have you seen how their experiences only change? Usually it's just dirt, filth, heat, until they hit Southern Africa. Have you guys noticed that? Until they hit Zambia, then things begin to change. Things begin to be really beautiful. Things begin to be, oh, wow, right? That's because we are all Bantu. Yes, that's because we are all Bantu, and that gives us great cohesiveness in comparison to all the others. But yeah, some of us are still very much living in a different age. And to then throw those people with your people who are, it's all the South African government's fault, with your people who are in a different age, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. That's all. They need to go to camps like in Zimbabwe, where they get taught that this is a stove, and this is a toilet, and you don't wash your vegetables. I can't. They were using, I wish I hadn't remembered that from my journalism days, because I'm done now. But anyway, guys, they were using the kitchen floor as a board. They were cutting their onions, onions, they don't use tomatoes as much, and stuff on the kitchen floor. They were rolling dough on the kitchen floor. And as they were doing it, people were stepping over it, people were walking around it, and they were smiling and looking at us like, are you going to eat? And we were like, no. We just came here to take the news. I was a reporter then. We just came here to take the news. And they were offering us this food, thinking we were going to eat it. And the general was complaining that once again, they destroyed the stoves. No matter how much we taught them to use stoves, they destroyed the stoves and lit a fire. And now we are telling them you can't cut wood. It is illegal to be cutting trees. You can't cut trees. You know, Africa is interesting. My mother is from one of their homes and got sick. My mother ate. See, I don't do that. I'm sorry. I don't. Because I've seen it. Okay. And I just believe that the South African government laws are the reason they are in this situation right now. Okay. Because, well, they could follow Zimbabwe's example. Their laws are the reason why the world is accusing South Africans of xenophobia. But to be honest, you can't live with people who hate you. Okay. And I think African Americans should understand that, because some Africans will come to America and they'll be very insulting, right? They'll be very insulting to African Americans. I think they should understand that you can't live with people who hate you. You can't. And they hate South Africans. I know this because they can stand there and they can say the most disgusting things. And I'll just be like, oh, is that right? Or is that right? Or is that right? Then after, yeah, you can't live with people who hate you. You feed them today, tomorrow, they blow your brains out. That's just what I feel. That's what I feel. Yeah. You can't live with people who hate you. You can't. But anyway, this is why, yeah, you can't live with people who hate you. You can't live with people who look at your birthright greedily and want to take from it. That has been my experience with Zims and SA in the UK. Oh, okay. You can't. You just can't. So I think the South African government should have dealt with this and not, made their people deal with it. You can't live with people who hate you. It can't be done. And they hate Black South Africans. They hate them with a passion. I know from experience. On that note, guys, thank you so much. I'm done. I did how many today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bad. I'm done. Now I'm going to talk to my Arabs about the last bath for the love kit. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Thank you, Cookie. Tomorrow is my day off. Consecration and talking to God and just chilling. Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye.